From very early on, it seemed like my life was set to go on a certain trajectory, not according to really God's plan, but really just circumstances in the world. I mean, I was born to teenage parents. My mom was 17 when she had me, and at the time, my grandfather really just stepped in and said, hey, I'll be the man in his life, and told my dad that we really didn't need him. My grandfather was in my life, but not in my home, and so it seemed like from very early on, I was going to be fatherless. I would always just have that thing inside of me, like I am kind of on my own. It kind of just created this thing in me to where I never really knew if I was good enough, or if I never really knew if I was going to be accepted, because what if I failed? What if I didn't get it right? What if I messed up? And as a kid, man, that's a lot to carry. You know, I remember it really caused me to get into things that I really had no business getting into. Like, I really wanted to be accepted, and so I'd go and compromise part of who I was, even as a person, even before Christ, to really fit into this group or fit into that group. And I recognized it was because of those wounds I had of not really having that man to really bring me along and say, hey son, this is who you are and this is all you have to be. I had this question on my heart where I was just asking the Lord, am I your son? Do you receive me? And the trail of destruction I had left in people's hearts and in my own. And then God's not saying anything. I just felt like, well, of course he's not going to say anything, because look at what you've done. Look at all the destruction that you've left in your wake. And then out of nowhere it just hit me. Not only was God speaking, he had been speaking the whole time. I was just so far gone in my own depravity that I couldn't even hear it. What God was actually saying to me was the same thing he said to Jesus when Jesus got baptized, when he said, this is my beloved son with whom I am well pleased. Even when I was doing all those terrible things, even when I was not walking with him, when I was a person that I would have even been ashamed of, God said, this is my beloved son with whom I am well pleased. You know, the beautiful thing about all of this is that, see, once God had spoke that truth to me, I was no longer trying to earn something that I could never gain on my own. I was no longer trying to receive this acceptance from people and by doing all these things, because I knew that the reason why I had received it was because of nothing I had done and nothing I could ever do. And so now I understood what unconditional love really was. You know, it's such a blessing I get to do this, that I get to serve in my Father's house, because now I see kids that were just like me. I see men that were just like me, and I'm no better by any means, but I just recognize what it is to receive unconditional love. I recognize what God does when he changes your heart with this pure and perfect love, and I have an opportunity now to extend that love to others. And when people walk into these doors, that's our heart. That's what we want to do. We just want to show people the unconditional love of the Father for all of his sons and daughters. Growing up, I was overcome by fatherlessness, by feelings of rejection, and just not feeling like I was good enough, that I didn't even deserve, or that I was worthy. But now, because of who God is, and because I know who my Father is, what he says about me, I have overcome.